paper magic will survive like the heat death of the universe, and will...
Oh, it's a smuggler's copter. Would you like to crew this? And then it crashes because they don't understand arithmetic.
All your cards belong to me.
2 minutes into macing him in the eyeballs, I switched to pepper spray. He's like, it's all right, refreshing. And went back to the mace.
Magic is dying. I'm done. Selling everything.
I might be a hoarder. And yes,
I don't have the crayons or glue to explain this to you right now.
What, are you gonna die twice?
Oil will be worthless before magic cards will.
Well, okay, Dr. Man.
That's Mr. Dr. Professor Jason.
Hello, everybody. Welcome into Brainstorm Brewery. Did you know that as we talk about this, we're going to spend part of this show talking about Lore and Eclipsed, but 1 week from now is the Ninja Turtles pre-release. How does that hit you? I'm joined by Cass and DJ. What do you think about that? How ready are you for a Ninja Turtles pre-release in 1 week?
It really snuck up on us, didn't it?
It's pretty wild. Now, as a regular weekly drafter, I don't hate the keeping it moving through the formats. But yes, it certainly went fast, didn't it?
I tried to play Lorwyn drafts, and the last time I played drafts consistently was War of the Spark. And that was also a format where I kept feeling like I had good decks and then dying, and I did the same thing this time. So that's just a skill issue at this point.
Yeah, I think it might be a skill issue, DJ, because I played Lore and Draft a bunch, and I thought my decks were good, and I lost, but I knew it was because I sucked.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
So,
I played Final Fantasy Flashback Draft in my store last night, and I went 0-3 trying to draft a Towns deck. Had 7 Towns. At one point, I even made tokens with the Wandering Minstrel, and then copied it with Go-Go, and then later I attacked with, some creature that was going to give like one creature +9, and then I copied that with Go-Go 4 times. So I did win a cool few games, but I did go 0-3 with the deck.
I was talking about Final Fantasy Limited with a friend of mine recently, and I think barring like 2 cards, the set is basically a perfect limited environment. Like there's no cards I would change.
It's really fun.
Cornered by Black Mages being a common was probably not great for gameplay.
I love that card.
Sin being a rare also probably could have been a mythic, and non-games happen when that card comes down sometimes. But other than those, format's kind of great.
Yeah,
maybe best all time.
Final Fantasy is very fun.
Yeah.
Speaking of fun, that is how I would describe the Lorwyn Eclipsed marketing. We went down the rabbit hole maybe a month ago about the video they did, the trailer for Lorwyn Eclipsed, the Squin and Craig, if I have those names correct, of the Boggarts, who have their own podcast from Lorwyn, or perhaps
just like us, for real.
Shadowmoor. Yeah, it's great. So they did this whole power ballad musical Muppet thing, because it's really cool. They're partnered with Jim Henson Company, so it's really fun, right? And if you remove either pandemic trailers or trailers that, when they were the more marketing spending happening, perhaps those kind of things, like when Wizards was really pushing that kind of thing, this was just kind of a normally released trailer. It seems like it was hugely popular. Okay, now fast forward. They kept the gag going with the Boggarts and their podcasts, and they've had a lot of funny things. Now, this one was going viral this week. They had 2 that in the past week that have just been huge. They had one with the Boggarts congratulating Amber Glenn, the very public Magic the Gathering Olympian gold medalist, who was avid about how much she liked Magic the Gathering in her interview. So there was one of those congratulating her. That was fun. And then they had one self-referential, basically breaking the third wall, fourth wall, fifth wall. I don't know what wall it is when you're coming in from a plane that is itself divided. The point is, they started making fun of the Ninja Turtle leak inside of Lorwyn, which was really fun. For anyone, I suggest you should go check out that clip. But this was just genius marketing, I'm not going to lie. And then it seems like it seems like perhaps the person who does the voice of one of them does the voice of Splinter, because they seem to make a reference to it at the end.
One of them was a voice actor for, I believe it was Splinter in the cartoon, the OG cartoon.
That's what I thought, because it's hilarious, because at the end he pulls a Splinter card and he goes, this one's in the do not eat pile, and then he goes, cowabunga, in his Splinter voice, and the other guy goes, that was uncanny. And it's just fun, and the world needs some fun, and Magic needs some in-universe fun that everyone enjoys before we go back to, Ninja Turtles and Pizza Lands and everything else that's going to cause arguments. Lorwyn has been a blast.
So, we've got a bunch of new TMNT spoilers today, mostly like art treatments, the secret layers, and something that I've kind of found to be universal of these universes beyond things, no pun intended, is that when I see like a sick art treatment like this Arcbound Ravager that JJ is going to put on the screen for us, when I see this, it doesn't make me want to play more Magic. It makes me want to go read an old TMNT comic, which is probably some of the intended effect, but it doesn't make me want to play more Magic.
Well, did I tell this story? I don't know if I told this story on the podcast last week or not, about the Fallout player at the store. Did I talk about this?
I don't think so.
Okay, so I'm at the store last week playing Commander, and I hear from across the room, did you mill for radiation? And
Yeah.
I'm like, I shoot up out of my chair, and I'm like, I'm following up on that one. So, I go over there.
Following
say hi.
out on that one.
I introduce myself to the player because I'm a representative of the store, so it's not weird. But like, I go introduce myself. I ask
Corbin's
what's up.
like, I gotta get this guy on coverage stat.
It
Get
wasn't
the
weird,
cameras
guys.
and the lights.
It was not weird.
He tells me that he loves Fallout. It's what got him into Magic. He has every Fallout Commander deck upgraded. He has a deck box that holds 4 or 5 Commander decks that is like Fallout made. I don't know if it's 3D printed or what, but it's Fallout. And he only plays these Fallout decks. So not only, but he was so excited. He's like, Fallout got me into Magic. And I'm like, bro, Magic got me into Fallout.
Yep. That's beautiful.
Those two are married now, actually. Fun
I'm
fact.
playing Fallout 3 right at this moment with my son. It's very fun. And we played a lot of Commander together. It was awesome.
I've referenced this on the podcast before, but there is a Moto grinder who plays dual Commander and Legacy mostly, who got in through Final Fantasy and like is really enthusiastic about Eternal formats and occasionally plays weird unplayable Final Fantasy cards in Eternal formats. And I think that's beautiful.
Yeah. Well, and we've got almost so much of the set has been spoiled already, so I guess it works out that it comes out in a week. But yeah, I mean, it's good to have a send-off for Lorwyn because it was great. Also, I'll say this. If your LGS isn't doing free pizza for the Ninja Turtles pre-release, tell them to step up.
True. Holy smokes, that's a good idea. Thank you.
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
I will say this: Lorwyn will be not the newest set, but it won't be forgotten. Lorwyn Standard is one of the best standards I've ever played in my life. Like, there's a bunch of different decks that are strong and interesting. Some people hate it, but that's how curmudgeonly players are.
Yeah,
But like the number of weird strategies that like aren't typical Magic strategies that you can play right now is awesome.
Yeah, down to even the monument decks, since they're not oppressive anymore, are pretty cool as a way. Like, that's the point, in my opinion, of Standard, is that you go through, and it used to be where you measured more in 6 months or year-long periods than you do now, or you measure in more like 6-week periods. But the idea that you can go from a format where you play Sidvisi Whip and Boros Heroic to a format where you play 5-color dragons, to a format where you play whatever the Gatecrash Gruul deck was, to where you play Jeskai Ascendancy, to where you play any of the cool decks of this standard, whatever, right? Like, you get these truly unique experiences that, at least in the older formats, you don't typically have, right? The same sort of archetypes, even though things change, etc., are more long-standing, whereas Standard gave you things that just aren't going to exist in any way except the standard format in which they exist. And it changes a lot, and that is what appeals to the people who like that. And this Standard season has been a great example of why.
if you had told a Standard player in 2014 that the top decks in 2026 Standard are Blue-Black Doomsday and Teamer Twin, they'd be like, okay, buddy, you need to stop smoking so much weed. Let's get you back to the old folks' home. But it is. Teamer Twin, Blue-Black Doomsday.
Well, there's a similar amount of shared experience there, too, because both of those time travelers get to share war stories about being ravaged by blue tempo decks for the past, 4 years before their formats, respectively.
Thinking back...
It's like, hey, Delver of Secrets, and what's yours? Corey Steelcutter does what? So, you both kind of just get to, mesh over your shared hatred of blue tempo.
It's really funny when you think back, the blue-white Delver deck in Standard had, Ponder, Gataxian Probe, Snapcaster Mage...
Vapor Snag was unbeatable.
It couldn't buy a game off of half the decks made in the last 2 years.
Yeah. Rune Chanter's Pike.
You maybe
Dice of
steal a
Fate
game...
Draft doesn't have any keywords besides hexproof. It's just a 2/2, guys.
Yeah.
Oh, you played Geist Saint Draft on your turn 3? Great. My turn 4, Warp Might Form Harmonizer, Failed Passage, hold priority, crack, grab mountain, hold priority, full board, double trigger, resolve, hit you for 28?
It's not even...
Would you like to block?
To be fair, there was a time where, if we go back, 6 years ago even, right? Throne of Eldraine Standard, where people were going, Wilderness... whatever
Wilderness
on
Reclamation,
Wilderness
Nexus of Fate or whatever.
Yeah, into Nexus of Fate, or they were going Fires of Invention, Kinrith or whatever bullshit. There have been some unhinged cards going back that far, I'd say, but now it's every deck. But not in a bad way. It's kind of like how Standard is kind of like how I've described for Commander for a long time to people coming back is everything's really broken and it's all pretty fun.
Yeah. If everything's a little bit broken and there's good interaction, that's fine.
Yeah. I mean, do we think TMNT and I don't know how much we've all perused the spoiler. I certainly haven't much. But do you think there's anything that's just going to majorly change the dynamics of what's happening right now?
I do think that there are going to be some pretty big role players coming out of the set. One of the big things... Oh, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, before you get into that, right, that can be a huge deal, because Wistfulness, before it became the backbone of all of these decks at the Pro Tour, was a role player that fundamentally changed the format because it gave people interaction to the Is It Lessons deck.
And I will say, most of the role players that I'm seeing in this set are synergy pieces or proactive things more than anything. There is... In Standard, we have Springleaf Drum, Pinnacle Emissary, and in this set, we're getting a functional cranial plating in red. And after this set, there's going to be at least, unless there's more than Krang, Mastermind, there's going to be 6 or 7 creatures with affinity in Standard. So there could very well be an affinity deck in Standard. Try. I mean, there's a lot of the very powerful pieces there for it. Additionally, Dark Leo and Shredder, who I believe I've shouted out on the podcast before, could go in Esper Pixie. And we've only seen the rares and mythics. I think that there's some of these red aggressive cards. Casey Jones is not bad. There's a bunch of the powerful mutagen cards that we could be playing. Yeah, Ravenous Robots is one that I didn't even think to mention for the affinity stuff, but it's a second Pinnacle Emissary. You can make these huge boards and put a cranial plating on your tokens, and I don't know.
That's fun.
There are push designs in this set, and it might not get figured out right away, but that does mean there's going to be a lot of opportunity to pick up cards before they are valuable and important role players in Standard.
Yeah, this feels like a time to note. I forgot to put this in the show notes, but there was a change made in the last week, I guess, to how Wizards is presenting data. I guess in events with fewer than 64 players, they will no longer post all the deck lists from those events. They're only going to post the top 8 from those events. And Fire Shoes, the homie, friend of the cast, friend to everyone really, is really leading the laid out a lot of the reasons why this change is problematic and sort of damaging to the community in a Twitter and I assume Blue Sky thread. But yeah, it certainly is going to restrict things like, because we're talking all these things, I'm thinking about, the metagame. Well, it's really hard to tell what the metagame is when sets are coming out every 7 weeks and the data from online events is going to be restricted.
So, I mostly agree with all the things that Fireshoes had said, but I do want to argue the other side just for the sake of presenting one reason why they might want to restrict this data. I've been playing a lot of Riftbound recently, and one of the things about Riftbound is that the meta develops very, very slowly. In the Set 1 metagame, the Chinese regionals didn't even begin to feature the Annie deck, which ended up being the best deck in Set 1. Because the format just develops really slowly because there is no official online client.
Yeah.
More data means metagames get solved faster. The Magic metagame evolves day by day, and it's really hard to keep up. And formats do get solved in a way that can be problematic. Like maybe the VV deck doesn't get found quite as quickly without Moto for people to grind infinite games on. Now, I personally am for breaking formats. I'm for things moving quickly, but I think that might be one of the reasons why they're restricting data. It might also just be it costs too much time or effort to collate all the decks. I don't actually know. But
this was an argument like 10 years ago, too.
I agree. It was.
There have been various points at which they have turned the knob on how much data gets presented to players from online tournaments, and I think we are still going strong. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean,
also, like, some amount of the data is going to be... If you have fewer than 64 people in an event and you list 39 out of 39 deck lists...
Right.
How many of those are things you don't want there for various reasons? Maybe they're joke deck lists, like for people who just maybe there's 59 mountains, and like sometimes people will do things and maybe it accidentally highlights, ways that people could be exploiting things or etc. There could also be the fact that those are not producing meaningful data for your metagame type stuff or whatever. Anyway. All of that said, I'm with you. I'm just trying to think of reasons why it's worth it to them.
Well, the communities that are going to be impacted the most by this are the Eternal Magic communities. Like Vintage, one of the reasons Vintage on Magic Online is really anything is individuals like Justin Gennari, who's I am actually level 1, who gets every deck list from leagues and compiles them because people report the decks they played against, right?
Yeah.
He takes all the challenge data and makes these huge analysis things. He can be like, Oath is on the trend, is trending upwards, or Mishra's Workshop is trending downwards. This card is seeing play in this many decks, and like that's really integral to a format that doesn't really get a lot of eyes on it. And this change will really hurt the Vintage community. And the Legacy community probably also has them getting more than 64 people for their challenges. I can't imagine. And as someone who loves Eternal formats, that does make me sad. So, free the deck lists. Hashtag free the deck lists, probably, is what they're saying. It's like free the nipple, but way nerdier.
It's like that, yes.
Less feminist, probably.
Both of them are about freedom.
Hence the word free being in them, yes.
I got nothing. Well, okay. I can tell you all this based on some cards moving in price that anything that says ninja or mutant or turtle on it, that's a good card to target right now.
There's a lot of stuff in Fallout that has the word mutant on it.
Yep.
True.
And you know what? That leads us, I believe, into our Breaking Bulk.
Breaking Bulk time.
I have a black Fallout rare for you all.
I yield.
The mayor.
It is Hancock Ghoulish Mare. 2 weeks ago, the card was $1. Today, the card's like $5. It's a rare from Fallout. It's a mutant. Each other creature you control that's a zombie or mutant gets +X for X's number of counters on Hancock Ghoulish Mare, and it has Undying. So, mutants.
That's fabulous, Corbin. You mentioned mutants. I have a freebie. I have 2 this week.
Okay.
I have a blue mythic from Foundations.
God damn it.
This is my fake one. This is my fake freebie one.
Omniscience?
No.
Extravagant Replication? Is that a card in Foundations?
No, I don't even know what that card is.
That is a card. Is it a ninja?
It's not a ninja, technically.
Kaito?
It's the Kaito, Cunning Infiltrator. I picked the other Kaito as my pick of the week last week. Kaito Cunning Infiltrator has a TCG low price of $1.10, a market price of $3.01, has a buy list for $4, a CK buy list is $3.20, TCG Direct Net is $6.29. That card is popping the frick off.
Mm-hmm.
That was my gimme. That was what I just found just now as Corbin mentioned ninjas. My actual breaking bulk is a Avatar The Last Airbender green rare.
Earthbending. That one.
I'm going to give it to you because
the enchantment.
Earthbending Ascension. Yeah.
Yeah, that one. The enchantment. I named
him getting the card.
I named it the enchantment as well. Like, I know what it is.
I knew what he meant. The card has multiple buy lists over TCG Player Market even, and Direct Net is well above TCG Player Market at this point. So, Earthbender Ascension, seeing play in the Green Landfall decks and Temur Harmonizer. Get your copies, or don't. I'm not your boss.
All right, DJ, what do you got?
I have a Modern Horizons 3 Commander green rare that was also in Double Masters, and its original printing before that I think would maybe give it away.
Okay.
And I'll give it away. It's Shadowmoor. It's a Shadowmoor green rare that was also in Double Masters and Modern Horizons 3 Commander.
MH3 Commander, the green decks were the Landfall deck, and
technically Eldrazi,
yeah.
And I think Planeswalkers was just fine. It was Planeswalkers, Jund, and
that was Energy. Energy was.
Is it the 100 counter card?
It's not Helix Pinnacle.
No.
That's might be from Eventide. I don't remember.
It is from Eventide.
Yeah. God, I cracked so many of these decks. It might be from the Jund deck then.
I assume it's an elf.
There's no elves in the MH3 Commander.
He said Shadowmoor green rare.
Yeah.
I did say Shadowmoor green rare.
It's not Prismatic Omens.
Is it Prismatic Omen?
Nope.
Oh, this is gonna kill me. Is it Dramatic Entrance?
No, but
That's a
very good
card.
guess.
I like that card.
This card is now $1.03. It used to be like $30 or $40.
Oh, come on. Oh.
What?
You see what the oh yeah, the historic high for this card was $43 July 2020.
Reese.
No, I would have said
That's gold.
multicolor.
I'm just stalling.
It's not a Hydra, is it? No.
It's not a Hydra.
Is it a creature?
It's not a creature.
Oh. Does it make elves?
No.
Is it an enchantment?
$30 or
Yes.
$40? That's stupid. Oh, it's doubling season.
No.
Or no,
don't-
sorry,
no, that's
mana
Ravnica.
reflect. It's mana
It
reflection.
is mana reflection. You eventually
I got there. I got there. Yeah.
That was in the Commander deck for MH3? How did I not know that?
I actually saw one of these the other day. Yeah.
$1.03 market price according to MTG Ban.
It's in fact the lovely sponsor of this podcast. It's a great data aggregation tool. They have wonderful features such as spreadsheet uploads. You've got the newspaper. You've got buy list and sell list aggregators. MTGBand.com with code. Checking the voice
BSB.
text to off the new code 50 BSB. You can get half off your first month or something.
That's 50 BSB.
50
It's 50
BSB.
BSB. They changed up the
50
promo
BSB.
code because too many people just had it lingering on their Control V, waiting and hovering, and now you gotta manually type it in. Now you can't just copy and paste it and look longingly at your Patreon before hitting enter. You gotta hit enter on those things. You gotta lock it in.
Gotta work for it. Just a little bit.
But MTG Ban right now, I typed in mana reflection. I put a little ampersand there to make it non-foil. Shows me Shadowmoor. Shows me Double Masters printing. It shows me Modern Horizon 3 Commander printing. It shows me TCG low market buy list for all of those. It shows CK buy list, shows how many copies they'll take, shows Star City buy list, shows different conditions for different prices. You can use all the Scryfall nomenclature to basically do whatever you want in terms of the search engine. Like I had a customer earlier who was like, I have a full set of foils from original Mirrodin blocks. So like they have a Magic Online set of like Mirrodin Darksteel Fifth Dawn. What would your number on that be? And I gave them a number in under 3 minutes, and they said, how did you get that number? And I said, I have very good tools. So MTG Ban will save you a lot of time depending on what you do with your inventory and what you need to do for buying and selling cards. If you are doing any amount of buying and selling cards, the free week on Patreon is worth it. Patreon will just give you a free week, and then after that free week is up, you use promo code BSB or promo code 50 BSB for 50% off your first month. Mana Reflection is bulk, guys. Mana Reflection is almost bulk. That is the world
you would
we
know
live in.
that. You'd know that if you had tools like DJ. If you were a huge tool like DJ, you would know that. Can I talk about Riftbound, guys? Is that allowed? Will they crucify me if I talk about Riftbound? Will I be?
Yeah, go for it.
Will I be punished for my thought crimes?
We will connect Riftbound to Magic. Go ahead.
No, I feel like this is the opener. This is the opener for the Riftbound segment, is me asking if I'm allowed to talk about it, if they'll get mad at me. Riftbound is amazing. Guys, I'm playing with set 2 cards. I'm playing this Aurelia deck, and my brain is expanding every time I take a game action. And I take a lot of game actions. My brain is about to pop out my goddamn gourd, okay? The cards look amazing. I opened up a bunch of boxes of set 2. I got 14 of the bad mythics, and I got 2 of the good ones. I was pretty pissed about that. Doesn't matter, the cards look good. You gotta get on this. You gotta embrace Riftbound. These Magic cards, they're fine. TMNT, it's fine. Whatever. You want to go Turtle Power, Shredder, Ninja Time? Great. Good for you. Me personally, I'm Blade Dancing. That's my rant.
Remember the Placidium. Any Legends of Runeterra fans will know what I'm talking about.
Whatever DJ just said, probably I agree with.
That's all you gotta do is remember the Placidium.
Didn't Gwyneth Paltrow eat her Placidium when she had her kids?
No, you stop. Everything has to stop. We have to go backwards from where we're at. We can't go.
But we can't talk about goop.
One. We'll throw this car in reverse.
Is it a car or a bus,
Corbin?
Corbin? I guess a bus is a kind of car, depending on how you think about it.
Huh. These show notes.
Is a bus a hot dog?
If it goes below 65 miles per hour. Jason,
This is the dumbest podcast ever.
Jason here in spirit. Yeah. Anyways, I have another free breaking bulk though before we fully get out of this segment here. And it is a card that has been memed on when I've played it in the past, but now who's up $2? It's me. I'm up $2 because Laser Screwdriver is no longer bulk. It's $2. Why? Nobody knows.
I know, but I won't tell.
I thought it was Sonic Screwdriver. Or are there different kinds of screwdrivers?
There's different kinds of screwdrivers depending on the doctor.
You got a flathead, you got a Phillips head.
I'm podcasting.
I think when a doctor
card
uses
seems-
scalpel.
Okay, and that's yeah. It's a mana rock that does other things, and it's from a set that nobody opened.
But I need you on the
Great.
podcast. Can you close the door?
You did it.
Thank you. All right. Well, let's move on and talk about. We've talked a lot about the sets coming out and Ninja Turtles. What is and where things might go. Let's look at standard. We talked a lot about this being one of the best standard seasons. What has that meant since the Pro Tour cast? The narrative going up to the Pro Tour was Badger Mole Cubs might be broken. The narrative after the Pro Tour was all of these wild different kinds of decks actually can all beat Badger Mole Cub. So what's next? With that said, what has been next since then? Weapon.
So, like Corbin said, the narrative going to the PT was Badger Mole Cub is broken, ban Badger Mole Cub. The PT narrative was all these decks have an insane win rate. How do they have such a high win rate?
Do you know how?
All the Badger Mole Cub decks lost to the PT, and the metagame after the PT is
Close the door.
all these decks that crush Badger Mole Cub aren't doing well anymore, but there's no more Badger Mole Cub. It's like if you let out a bunch of wolves into a world full of only sheep, and then all the sheep got eaten, and you're like, why are the wolves starving, guys? The standard metagame is...
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I'm not gonna starve because I have 2 wolves inside of me.
I showed
They
it.
take
smart.
shifts.
I showed Ben the day after tomorrow. The wolves will go after anything at that point.
That is true. The standard metagame now is very much about like these mid-rangey decks that have sort of a combo finish, like Doomsday Excruciator. It's about finding really, really efficient pieces of interaction and then being able to turn the corner quickly. My Firm Harmonizer deck is an example of that. We see, sort of in the face of these blue decks slugging it out over incremental resources and overloading on interaction, these just mono-green landfall, punchy-in-the-face decks doing really well. People found the interaction between Sapling Nursery and Fecund Greenshell, however you pronounce it, the turtle from Eldraine. When you play a land, you make a 3/4, and then when you make a 3/4, you look at the top card of your deck. If it's land, you put it into play, and you make a 3/4, and then you make a 3/4, you look at the top card of your deck, and so on and so on. We see this evolution to these very fair, aggressive landfall decks, and the next level beyond that might be that Cub is back. And then once Cub is back, things like Spelementals will come back, and Standard's in this really interesting cyclical metagame, ranging between doing the most powerful thing, interacting with the most powerful thing, interacting on a purely interactive access with 2 interactive decks, to Knucklehead punch him out, to doing the most powerful thing again. And if we just kind of exist in that cycle moving forward, maybe TMNT shifts it a little bit in another direction, but Standard looks really healthy, and like it is changing constantly.
Yeah, it's the next metagame will be Ninja Turtles Spotlight in Richmond in 3 weeks, I believe it is. And that, due to card availability reasons, that may or may not end up being a huge. It depends, right? We haven't. It seems like seen like some kind of $50-$60 out of the gate must-have card out of Ninja Turtles that people are going to have for the event. So, like $20 cards are much easier for people to acquire. If they're trying to fill out role players, as opposed to something dominant that's being held back by availability. So it's going to be interesting to me, maybe not necessarily from a coverage angle that I can, publish, but like from a sort of from this angle for this show, how card availability does or does not impact what we see there.
Something worth noting. I might be crazy on this. I believe Star City Games doesn't have singles pre-orders up yet for TMNT. And as they're the ones running the event, a lot of competitive players rely on event pickup from Star City at SCG cons. That not being up yet is really interesting, because normally they're multiple weeks out ahead of the gate, right?
Well, I wonder if it's related to the fact that, like, there hadn't been I guess once the cards were leaked, then Wizards put them out on the thing, and at that point they're officially previewed and they could pre-sell them. So,
right.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's really interesting.
Yeah, one would assume, I guess, that it would be up with the pre-release or so. All right. But it means that it's time for this game. We don't know what this game is called because we've done this game in the past, and I'm pretty sure it had a catchy name at the time. However, when I said, hey, y'all, what's the name of that game we play where we have a cycle of cards and we make someone guess what the order of those are in terms of prices? And we don't know what it's called. So if anyone out there knows, if Sander Vanderzee is still alive, maybe he'll know back in the archives. So let's find out. It's that game. DJ and Cass, do you know the order in price from least expensive to most expensive, or whatever you prefer, most expensive to least expensive, of the Triome cycle from Ikoria, Lair of Behemoths? That would be Zagoth Triome, which is, for those at home, the Sultai one. There is Savai Triome, the Mardu one, Mountain Plain Swamp, Indatha Triome, Ragron Triome, and Ketria Triome.
Savai's at the bottom,
yeah,
and Zagoth's at the top.
Yeah, I think Ketria is dead middle. No, Ketria's... I don't think Indatha's the second lowest. I think the second lowest is Ragran.
I would think the second lowest is Indatha, the black, white, green.
For some reason, I feel like Indatha's higher. I don't know why.
I want to put
Or deck.
Ketria at the second place,
Yeah, same.
like second most expensive, and then Rogren in the middle. So we're going
I'm doing-
Zagoth at the top, Ketria, and Death. At least I am.
Yeah.
No. Zagoth, Ketria, Rogren, and Death, Savai. That's my lock-in.
Mine is the same as DJ, except we're swapping Rogren and Indatha. Indatha's second from last. Or sorry, Indatha's middle and Rogren is second from bottom.
Okay. You all had some good hits there and some misses. You're right. Zagoth Triome is the most expensive, market price 1988.
Okay.
However, the next most expensive is Savai Triome at an $18.13 market price, followed by Indatha Triome at a $15.91 market price.
Okay.
Followed by Ketria Triome and Rogren Triome, basically dead even, $14.30. They're a nickel apart. So, yes, Zagoth is the most expensive, but shockingly, the Mardu one is up there.
Market players got to get their mana fixing, I guess.
I think so. That was my take on it, I guess. I don't
Am
know
I
that...
wrong did I used to be right, is my question. Did Savai used to
I
be
think
the...
so.
Savai at one point was $4 when it came out.
Yeah.
How about that?
Well, when it came out is 1,000 years ago, so...
I was
July
right about Rogren
2020.
being dookie, though.
Yeah, it is. It is very dookie. Let's see here. Does it change when we look at the... Yeah, the order of the showcase ones is the same. This is my favorite cycle of lands in the game, probably. Especially the art on the full Articoria ones.
I did just go to MTG Ban and type S:IKOT:land R:R to pull up every rare land in Ikoria, which is all the tribes plus Botter's Enclave. But, yeah.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, the full art showcase Zagoth Triome spiking really hard right now. Freebie for those of you at home.
CK Bioist is over TCG low in that card, which is just how the world works nowadays. CK Bioist just so aggressive on so many cards because TCG players
Staples. On Staples, for sure.
ripping up market
Yeah.
share. Oh,
All
I
right.
had a fun experience recently that is kind of adjacent to this that I was curious if you can guess. So recently some colleagues and I were discussing about can you name the most expensive card you can get out of a collector booster from the collector booster print runs?
No.
So if you pick a random collector booster, can you name what is the most expensive, or at least like within range, right? Like it's like some number of serialized cards, or like what is like the most expensive card you can get?
Not a clue. That's what makes it
I could
fun.
probably get like half of them, and the other half I could get pretty close.
Yeah.
What's the best one out of Wilds of Eldraine Collector?
Confetti foil. I don't know. What's in that set? Necropotence, maybe?
There are two answers I will
Mystic
accept.
Study.
The Necropotence is not close. It's Risk Study or Smothering Tide,
Oh,
I think, are the only
Mystic.
two I would accept
Yeah.
there.
Yeah,
Those are
that
both in
makes
like the
sense.
$800 to $900 range. Corbin, what about Dominaria United?
He's
I know
fucked.
this one. No, this one's easy. Oh, hold up. I'll give you the right answer. Give me 10 seconds.
Are you Googling? What are you doing?
Don't you worry about this, DJ. The answer, DJ, is the Tabernacle at Pendrell
Yes. Okay.
Nailed
you-
it!
Looking up best card in Legends.
Nailed it! Yes, I was.
Yeah.
Did anyone do that?
I did. I got it.
Yeah, I mean,
No, I mean, like, well, that's great, but I mean, like, was it really a Tabernacle in any pack, or did everyone just get Primordial Ooze like I did?
I mean, I know someone who opened a moat.
Okay, that's a great one.
Yeah. It was
all right,
the nicest moat I've ever seen.
Now for the other end, what is the most expensive card in Innistrad Crimson Vow collector boosters?
Blood tokens.
There's nothing in there, Corbin.
Blood tokens. I don't know,
It is-
man. That set is a black hole to me.
It is Showcase Olivia foil at like $20.
Oh no. Wow.
Yeah, this was an interesting question because like if you're the context was like if you're a front of house employee at an LGS and somebody comes in and you have like a wall of collector booster boxes, somebody's going to ask, "Oh, what's the coolest thing you can open out of that?" And that employee should be able to answer that question.
I would argue,
Yeah, that's fair.
and this might just be the clientele I've had at my store in the past. I would argue, even beyond that, it's more important to be able to describe what each set kind of is like. Being able to say, Nuka Penna is like an Art Deco, New York, like kind of crime boss, mafia style vibe.
Here's the rabbits, it's Bloomborough.
Right. Lost Friends Vixalon is like Journey to the Center of the Earth, but also Aztecs with dinosaurs, pirates, and merfolk. Like that kind of stuff is also very important.
Yeah.
Training front of house staff is really hard. It's something I've learned in the last couple of years.
Oh, yeah.
Very much. All right. Well, before we get out of here this week, we want to end, as always, with our picks of the week.
Pick of the week, pick of the week, pick of the week. Time for the pick of the week.
And I have one that's very on brand with both everything that I've been doing and with the greater world of entertainment media at large and with things on this show. It's not I'm not going to make you guess. It is a sweet one, though. Nuclear Fallout from Fallout is climbed up to $3 from $1 2 weeks ago, and I think it's probably just getting going. So I think it's going to be $10.
This podcast is sponsored by that one guy at Corbin's LGS who loves Fallout.
I've been playing Fallout 3. It's very fun. My son and I are loving it. He literally interrupted me earlier while I was podcasting to say, "Hey, Dad, can we play Fallout 3?" And I said, "Kid, what does it look like I'm doing?" And he said, "Are you playing Fallout 3?" And I said, "No, I'm podcasting." So anyway, you should buy Nuclear Fallout.
Or Corbin's kid. Just take him off his hands. He seems like he's a lot to deal with for Corbin.
No. My pick of the week this week is one of the Lauren elementals that maybe time forgot already because turtles were lost in time or something.
Ooh, my favorite
Vibrance.
one. That's my favorite
That is
one.
the best one.
Yeah, 4.
Vibrance is the red-green elemental that its modes are Lightning Bolt or Search for any land, gain 2 life, or if you pay 5 mana, you get a 4/4 that kills one of their creatures, gets you a land out of your deck, and gains you 2 life. Card's really strong, has buy list prices over TCG low on 3 of the 4 websites that I regularly buy list to. People are going to figure out Lorwyn in 7 days when the turtles are the newest, hottest thing, and Mythics only get better. Unless they get worse.
Well, in these mythics, this cycle of mythics, as we've talked about, is just one of the most powerful things you can do. And I think it's probably that people are going to find ways to use all of them for the amount of time they're legal and standard.
Yep, which is 3 years now.
The best way I would describe this is the Modern Horizons 2 elementals, when they're fixed, are still very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you can have a balanced version of that card and have it be very strong still. And I think these are that.
All right, DJ, what are you looking at?
My pick of the week is a card from Avacyn Restored. It is a mythic that has been printed many, many times, but it's actually been a hot minute since its most recent printing. Gisela, Blade of Gold Knight.
Sure.
It was in a Murders of Karlov Manor Commander Precon. We are at the level where this card just gets tossed in precons now, just regular roll, just toss it in a regular precon, it's fine. Just to show the power level of precons, but like cards that get put in those precons do tend to grow back. Like last week I picked what was it, like Chimus Lotus, and before that it was something else similar from that deck that like
Tree of Perdition.
Yeah, like we're putting cards in commander decks now that go down to $2, then they go back up. That is exactly where I'm going to put my money if I'm buying a bunch of something. Gisela, Blade of Gold Knight also works very well with just like the next the Strixhaven Dragon that's coming out. Like it is just a big legendary thing that you're going to put with your Velomachus Miracle guy.
And people are really excited about that already.
Yeah.
About the Boros spell deck.
even if the card does not let you miracle creatures, like you can't pay 2 mana to miracle in Gisela, like she's still a $2 mythic that you should buy a bunch of because it's a previously $10 to $15 mythic. That's just what that card is. It's an expensive, big, legendary, flashy angel that gets reprinted, then it goes down, then you buy it, then it goes back up.
All right, well, if you want to hear what we were just all quit to, maybe go check out the After Hours. It's a good time. Patreon.com/BSB is where you can do that for as little as $1 or $2 a month. $2 gets you that special little highlight in Discord. But either way, you can come check out the Discord for $1 or $2 a month. Support this show. Support our staff. Our amazing editors, thumbnail editors, people who make this podcast go. And a shout out to our sponsor, MTG Band, where you can use that code 15BSB to get a discount on the first month. So thank you, everybody, for listening to Brainstorm Brewery. We'll see you next week.